Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Cullen on Film. We're back again. I feel like this is kind of deja vu for me. I do this every day. It's the same thing. It's Groundhog Day like 50 or so. So I'm CJ Cullen. Let's go around the horn here. Tom, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Tom Ryan, writer-director of Soothsayer, short film from Theater of Terror Productions, LLC.
Hello, my name's Dennis Wee. I am a Swiss, New York-based actor, and I'm fortunate enough to be in Tom Ryan's film, Soothsayer.
Hello, I'm Samantha Lacey Johnson, and I'm a New York-based actor, and I play Miss Karen Wells.
Hi, I'm Anthony Robert Grasso. I'm also a New York-based actor, and I'm playing Dr. Serling.
All right, so you want to start off and show the you want Ming to show the promo to get it all going?
Yeah, so why don't I introduce it by saying that Theater of Terror is an homage to the classic Twilight Zones and Universal monster movies, inspired heavily by The Time Machine, written by H.G. Wells, and all the materials regarding time travel that followed, Back to the Future and all of our favorite time travel movies. Here is the trailer for Soothsayer.
There it goes. I can see the arrow.
Play now.
There it is.
That's your cue.
Bum.
Is there audio or not audio coming up?
No audio.
Oh.
Instead of distorting the space around us, why not instead distort our perception of the space around us?
Awkward silence.
It was amazing. An amusement park. You're a genius.
Robert, this is for sure. You must see that. We've been friends for over 20 years.
Darling, I need you to tell me what you saw. Please.
Can't you understand, Karen? I've seen it with my own eyes. The Soothsayer show.
Soothsayer? I'm impressed, Doctor.
Not yet, Stephen, but you will.
All right.
Yay!
Goosebumps.
So I noticed that in there you have your little time, whatever it is behind you was just in the promo there. Can you talk about what that is? Are you allowed to talk about what that is or what?
This is the Soothsayer.
Soothsayer.
Yeah, it's the Soothsayer, and so it's a time machine. It's a time travel short story. I was lucky enough to cast these three extremely talented actors in the film to deliver the goods. But yeah, I've always wanted to, so Chris, you know that the Theater of Terror was our anthology that we released last January 2019. And
where can we say that now? Or is it on DVD or is it out there? Can you order it?
Yeah, you can stream it on Vimeo, and you can order it on Amazon Prime, the DVD. The Blu-ray is exclusively only through theaterofterror.net.
Ah.
And the Blu-ray's got all the extras on it. But that's like, I really like telling these really diverse stories and dipping into the pieces of film noir that I love. And this was kind of a story that I really was looking forward to shooting and tackling. And so yeah, the Soothsayer is a time machine that Dr. Robert Serling invents. That's played by Anthony Grasso. And Samantha Lacey Johnson is his plays Karen Wells, who is his assistant, developed the project. And then Dennis Wee is Dr. Stephen King, and he's an old friend of Dr. Serling's, and he comes to visit and see his work, and that's the foundation of the film.
Is this going to be also part of an anthology, or is this going to you're going to start out as a separate short and then go from there? And
well, similar to the first anthology, we're probably going to submit the separate shorts to film festivals. We're going to do screenings for them, but it is part of the larger anthology story. Return to the Theater of Terror.
That sounds good. So when you audition, did you audition everybody? Did they? How did you guys audition for these roles and get the parts? If you want to start, then you go around. Or?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll start with Anthony.
Tom and I met at Garden State, I believe, about 2 years ago, right? When Swipe Right was there, and I think I got to see your film with Heather. Right. What was the name of the film? I want to plug it. What is it?
The Gift.
The Gift.
In and out with his little noisy thing there.
And so I remember you very well from that, and I complimented his work. So fast forward, last year I'm at Live Film Festival, and Tom's sitting there with his baseball hat on, and he goes, I think I might have something that I want you to audition for. And I was like, all right, bring it. I really like your work. So I don't know, fast forward like 2 months later, he sends me the script. Well, not the script, the scene. And I auditioned for it, self-taped it, sent it to him. He cast me, and that's how it started. And I was kind of taken because normally in film, and CJ, you know this, you don't normally have a lot of dialogue, extensive paragraph dialogue. This film, my character talks ad nauseum. No, I love your stuff, but that shit was a lot. It was a lot. I remember Dennis Sweet when he calls me after he gets the role. He goes, "Dude, you got a lot to memorize." So I was up for the challenge, and I really liked the premise. So, and I always loved the Twilight Zone. So this was like me getting my Twilight Zone up. That's how it started.
What about you, Samantha?
Well, I think I was one of the first ones cast. I had seen a posting of his on a horror Facebook page that I'm a part of because I took a Pamela Kramer class. Okay. And I was like, I have no idea what this is, but fuck it. Okay. And I'm sorry, can I swear? Is that bad? I don't know.
We don't lie. You can say what you want. I will edit it later for students from my school because I teach. And we do. No, say whatever you want.
Stay in school, kid. Not part of the point.
I'll do that later. That's the later show.
So I saw the posting and I submitted. And right away, I got a message back being like, can you send a self-tape? Here's a side, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, ooh, you know what? I got to get this in right now because he mentioned it was all in black and white. It was like he sent me like a picture of Grace Kelly. And I was like, because she's one of my idols. And I grew up watching a lot of black and white films with like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers and so on and so forth. So I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. So I sent in the side and it was literally just me recording the other person's lines because I didn't have anyone to read with me. And I had a very short amount of time at that moment. And I sent it in and I got a message back and they were like, we'd love to have you. And I was like, ah! So that was how I became part of the film.
What about you, Dennis?
I think Anthony approached me for this originally. I think they were looking for the Stephen King part. And I studied under Anthony. So he's like, I think I got a guy. So
he gave us this description. He needed a handsome 30-something-year-old who you wouldn't know if he was a good guy or a bad guy.
You're like, it's cool.
So I know him so well. I was like, I got a guy.
He's got so he hit me up. He sends it to me, and I'm like, okay, this is fun. Wait, the character's name is Stephen King. Oh, okay. And it was fun. The self-tape, the audition was fun. Spoiler, non-spoiler. I had to pretend I was tied up. So doing an audition like this is always great. It was a lot of fun. But he had me when he told me that the film is paying homage to the old Twilight Zone TV shows. Because growing up in Switzerland back in the day, we didn't have a lot of TV shows. Twilight Zone was one of them. So when he said it's going to be shooting black and white, I'm like, I think. Yeah, I'd love to take. I'll play it cool, but take me, cost me.
Oh, it's getting louder and louder there, Tom.
Oh, sorry, man.
It's all right. It's not a big deal. So, did you said you wrote this, Tom?
I did. Yep.
And you based it on Twilight Zone and what else was that?
Yeah, well, I was at the time. I wanted to do the story. I had already had the premise in mind. I just didn't know how I was going to get it from beginning to end. I had no idea what the story was going to be. And so I was in Florida and I can't recall the name of the beach. We were about 2 miles south of Tallahassee, and in any case, I was reading a short stories by C.M. Eddy Jr., right, who was friends with H.G. Wells and with Harry Houdini, and just say he was a real interesting guy. And so I picked up his book and I started reading the short stories, and all the stories were very Twilight Zone-esque. And just some of them were home runs, some of them were misses, swings and misses. But overall, there was probably like 23 short stories in there. And by the time I was done with that book, my mind was blowing up with ideas of stuff I wanted to kind of explore. And so I got on the airplane and I pulled out my laptop and I just started writing on the airplane home. And I think within 2 days I had the script done. And what's funny is that there's actually an addition to the end of the script that was done maybe like 2 weeks before we shot. The second day of shooting, actually.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until.
Yeah, we'd already started shooting. Yeah, and then we decided to get popped up. So yeah.
You gonna be one of those directors where you don't give the people, like, you change it on them, change the ending.
Yeah, it's like a Marvel movie. We all had different scripts.
But what's funny is that I knew it was going to be the very last thing that we shot. Yeah, it was the end of the movie, but it wasn't like a 10-minute buildup. It's like the very, very last scene. And I just kind of thought about something I wanted to change up, and I didn't do it like at the spur of the moment. I think Anthony was aware of it. The other two actors, Samantha and Dennis. I don't believe you guys were aware
I
of
didn't
the
know
end.
about it.
But yeah, so
I like the new ending.
thank you.
If you kept it, I don't know. We haven't seen it. So,
You haven't
Tom,
seen it?
really quick, are you going to show us a little bit more since we're all together?
No.
We could turn the show off and then watch it.
Just something that's fun for me to mention is that even up until this morning, I was still doing little tweaks to the edits, and it's crazy. I would have if it were not for the quarantine, I probably would have screened the film for the kids. And still, it's done, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, and it's nothing major. It really has to do with visual effects that I've done with it, but like I could watch it a million times and just go, that crossfade could be a little long.
Tom, do you do the visual effects yourself, or do you outsource that?
I actually did. I'd like to mention a guy by the name of Dave Geckman. He's a visual effects artist that has actually really helped me. I reached out to him early on in this project and discussed how many visual effects would be involved in this film. And I said, I'm really looking for somebody. And I told him it's a low budget project. And he was really cool. He understood that. And he said, look, I can walk you through some of this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you're telling me about that you could probably do on your own with a little guidance. And kudos to him, man. He just gave me a few pointers, and YouTube is just a miracle. Like you could go on YouTube and say, how do I
do this? Yeah.
Right. And you got to get so specific, right? Like, how do I get a blood splatter coming out of someone's belly? And they'll show you that specific effect. So
Spoiler.
Spoiler, yeah. So, no, he was extremely helpful. YouTube was extremely helpful. And again, I don't want to say that, I didn't this is not like Star Wars or anything, or at least the new Star Wars. There's not massive. But for the stuff that was in it, it was real involved, especially for somebody who did it for the first time.
Do you use Adobe Premiere? Is that what you're using? Yeah, that's what I teach that. So got used to that. So that's what I use all the time now too. So, but just found out the other day we got a few people that just are graduating, got into film school. So from college, so that makes me feel good.
Congratulations!
Teach TV film, and they're going to. Changing their minds, going to film school. I'm like, yeah. More and more every year. So
I got to tell you, if Tom is probably one of the few directors I've worked with that does that all. The writing, the directing, the editing, just amazing. Because when I met the guy, and then we were on set, we had a very small crew, and I thought, oh, okay. And I've been on a lot of sets where there's like either 30 people to 2, you know.
Yeah.
And he was, you know, in under 5, and I thought, oh, okay. And then when I saw just a little bit of what he's shooting, I went, okay, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. You don't need, as Tom says, you don't need a shitload of money to make a movie.
No.
You just need the right people. And
Division.
his DP's not here tonight. Is he coming? Steve?
Lou Libetz.
Lewis, rather. Lewis.
Yeah, Lou Libetz.
Oh,
was
Lou,
our
I know
DP.
Lou. I'll have him on.
Yeah,
I love Lewis. He's so sweet.
Yeah.
Lou teaches like I do, so we talk all the time.
He rocks, man.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
I love him.
We
He's
know each other
wonderful.
from teaching and stuff and doing all this. It's ironic that we all know each other in the business.
Yeah.
It's great.
Small world.
Do you teach filmmaking or acting?
For,
I'm sorry.
Chris, you teach filmmaking?
oh, I teach filmmaking. Yeah. TV film. Yeah. I could teach acting, but I don't. We have a drama teacher, all that stuff. But I am certified too, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm currently right now all online because of COVID.
I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask how is that going? How is teaching online?
You know, I was telling people, especially my students, I said, I've learned a whole new set of skills teaching this way. I mean, I used to coach a lot by Skype, but what I do is very, it works really well. So it's actually been great. I have a pretty full 6 classes. I have over 12 students in every class. I have a wait list. So
It's
I'm
harder to teach film TV, but acting, I guess it is. It's a little bit easier to do that online, I guess, in a way. And sometimes, I guess.
Well, I think
You'd rather be there.
a lot of my stuff. Dennis was in my class for a while. He'll tell you it's like a audition technique.
Mhm.
So it works quite well. This kind of dynamic, because I'm only seeing what the producers would see.
Yeah. And I heard recently, I've had a lot of actors on here recently, and they're all doing audition tapes nonstop. So
Yeah.
at least they're doing that. But I'm hearing it from everybody. They're like, I'm so busy doing audition tapes.
Yeah,
So
and it's cool. They just had a big one with what's her name? Did you do it, guys? Sam?
Lucy,
Yeah.
the NCIS one. The one where
Yeah,
we got 5 emails today saying they extended.
Yeah, we got 5 of them that they extended. I sent mine in yesterday because it was the day of, and I figured they're getting over 60,000.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
repeat.
They got
60,000.
they got 65,000 submissions.
Yeah,
so-
so I figured I'd
What
rather
is
get
this
back.
for?
It's for NCIS. It's just like a general.
Oh,
And I just thought, all right, I'll do it. But I wasn't that originally that jazzed because I knew how many people. But then I thought, it's good practice. So as you said, all the students are doing it, and all the actors that you're interviewing are doing it. And I think it's cool. Who knows? I put my reel in there.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, I guess the directors are taking their time, and they are actually spending time watching everybody.
Well, they might. I mean, if they're still being paid by the networks, maybe that's one of the jobs that they need to do is kind of scout.
Yeah.
You
I don't know, man. 65,000 times, let's say it's 2 minutes. That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's
It's
a
going
lot.
to take them like a
For
year.
like 5 years.
We might be doing this for a year now.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, as my wife said, they're probably not going to watch them all. They're going to probably watch the first 2 seconds. If they're interested.
We'll
They'll
go next.
they'll watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool that that we're able to even work this way. This has been an interesting time. Has everybody been good? Everybody's family good?
Yeah.
To me, that's most important. I have a few friends that lost people, and it's
Yeah. There's a lot of people in this industry have passed away, especially in this area, right?
yeah.
That's what I've been hearing all over, which is a shame. But
Yeah, not to bring the room down.
yeah. Well, I've been staying here, just going to get food, teaching online. It's a lot of work, so I'm always in front of it. That's why like every day's Groundhog's Day.
When did you do this? I love that.
What's that?
When did you develop this? I like this program.
Well, we had our Hang On to Your Shorts podcast in the studio, and the other guys, there's like 4 of us that do it, sometimes 5 of us. We bring the people in and we have a lot of fun, and it gets
Right.
crazy. And then I have guests come in my school, and I usually have about 10 guests a year. I had 3, and then this all happened, and I'm like, what am I going to do? We stopped the podcast, and then Ming's like, oh, we could do it online. Let's try this. So I tried it with Ming, and then I just kept going. Then I realized, wait a minute, everybody's home. So everybody wants to do it. And I'm on like the 20th show right now.
That's amazing.
and it just keeps going. And I got a list. I'm booked. It's we got people from LA now, and because we used to do it in the studio and not like this, but now I'm talking to people from.
I remember when you would have it. I think I was asked once to join you guys, and I couldn't get over to Asbury.
Yeah.
The night that I was teaching. Yeah, I remember that. But I just want to point out one thing. Look at Tom's machine. Can you show them that machine?
Yeah, turn it on.
Yeah, it works? That works?
Dude, that works.
Just kidding.
And everything and lights.
What is that?
That's the time.
Is it a time machine?
You have to watch,
Yeah, it worked.
you have to watch the movie to see it turned on.
I was hooked up to it for like an hour.
When all of us saw that, did you all go like this? I know me and Sam and Dennis probably did, but we all went, okay, this guy's really, really into detail.
Yeah.
It's really, really detailed.
I mean, it's so
Did you buy that? Did you build it? What
No. So I designed the machine, right, on a sketch of the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Then I called up a childhood friend of mine, Rodrigo Bustamante. He's a Jersey City police officer. And since we were kids, he was always really good with electronics, with wiring, the guy would build stuff. I remember as a kid, I don't know, I guess we were in our early teens. He actually built like a replica of the Terminator arm, right? So when Arnold Schwarzenegger opens his arm, so he builds the arm and he's like, look, and he's like pulling levers and the fingers are moving. And I'm like, it's incredible.
That's so fucking cool.
So I called him up and I said, look, I want to build this time machine and we have to have moving parts and gears and lights and everything. And I knew that he was going to be extremely helpful. So I built a cardboard version of the physical body of the time machine to make sure that I could fit it in my trunk and to make sure we could carry it through doorways, right? So I didn't want to build something that all of a sudden we try to get it somewhere and go, Jesus, it doesn't fit in the car. So I built it. Right, exactly. So we built it. It fit. I brought the cardboard version over to his house, and then we just hit Home Depot, and him and me started knocking the thing together.
Wow.
And we had the body done. Brought the body to my house. I kind of polished it up, fixed it up, and then he came over and just installed all the electronics. And we brainstormed. I mean, everything in between. When this comes out on a Blu-ray, I'm going to have a ton of behind-the-scenes stuff where you're going to actually see the process of how we built this machine, and it's amazing. It's amazing what he put into it and what we put into it, but it's great, and I love it. And now I don't know what to do with it.
You're gonna bring it with you to every screening. I know.
Well, that's gonna happen. Yeah, that's gonna happen. And then after that, I don't know.
CJ, he had lights that go on with every lever. He had it actually liquid
come out of it.
Smoke, it vibrated.
I mean, it was crazy.
Special effects. It really was doing that.
Yeah. It was really
Except the time travel part. That didn't work.
That didn't work.
Yeah, man. One job.
Maybe one day.
That was the hard part. Yeah.
Do you have like the head harness thing there with you?
I do.
You can show them that. That was cool.
That.
It's really heavy, but it's really cool.
And you had that on your head the whole time?
Yep, for like a good hour.
It's heavy?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's fine,
Yeah.
My eyes are piercing, so it's fine.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
So you talked about the writing, you talked about auditioning. What about the process filming? How did that go? That was a couple of days. Was it one day? If you guys want to talk about your experiences on set and your characters and acting in this film.
Sam, why don't you go first?
Okay. So super quick, 2 days. It was so much fun. I had such a good time. Like I said earlier, I grew up watching a lot of old films, so I was like super excited about it. Watched a lot of like Alfred Hitchcock films and Twilight Zone episodes, which are surprisingly depressing after a while.
Yeah.
And was just like, oh, humanity sucks, but it's fine. I'm gonna go do a film. Everything's fine. And but it was super fun. And working with Dennis and Anthony was a blast. Tom was super great. Lewis was super great. Oh my gosh, now I'm forgetting everyone's names because I'm nervous. But everyone was super nice, and I had so much fun on set. It wasn't even funny. And I got to wear beautiful vintage clothes that I was able to bring and all that stuff, which was a blast. And I I really wanted to pull off like a Tippi Hedren vibe, and on the first day I nailed it. Second day,
No, you nailed
but
it.
it was a blast. It was such a good time. I learned a lot.
She
great.
looked
There
like
was-
a different person, no doubt. She looked like a throwback from that time. You know, the hair up and the makeup and the dress, and you looked amazing.
It's always fun doing
Yeah.
period pieces and dressing up like that, right?
Yeah.
Sam, do you remember after the shoot? I think you're on the phone with your boyfriend and you were so happy and you were so giddy. And these are your words. You said, if the world ended today and this is my last film, I will die happy. The world kind of ended, so thanks for making it.
I mean, this is always been like
kind
a
of
dream of mine
called it.
being a black and white film. So when I saw that in the casting thing, I was like, to do it. I was like, it has to happen. And then I got it, and I was like, everything's fine. So
Well, the first day we drove up to the castle because we shot this castle, Chris,
yeah, that was neat.
in Verona.
Oh wow.
I live maybe 2 miles from there, 3 miles. So I didn't know
Really?
anything. So we drive up, and I'm looking at this castle, and it was smoky out, like
It was foggy. Yeah.
It was foggy, and I just thought, "Are you kidding me? Like this is awesome."
Yeah.
He planned it.
And then an hour in, we get this. You have till noon to get your shots, and I literally almost lost it. I went, what?
Yeah,
It was 10 o'clock. We still had like 20 pages to shoot.
you nailed it though. You nailed it though.
No, we did, but it was like Tom was looking at me, and I was looking at Tom, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything because I have a short fuse. I'm going to be cool. I'm just a talent. And he was a gentleman. He walked over. He charmed the shit out of them all, and we got to stay till 3,
Oh,
which was great. So he got us 3 extra hours.
Tom Ryan's charm.
Yeah.
Is that
Those
just one
things
day?
happen.
Oh, what's that? Is that a telephone?
The
The
beauty
old-
about having
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just hear noise in the background.
What is
It
that? Okay.
sounds like AOL.
Yeah, the beauty about
It's got to
having
be my laptop. Man.
the beauty about all those sets, it's like having that castle. It's because film, everything's fake, right? Like it's never real. There's always this fakery that goes around. But then you're in this actual castle and it's misty outside, and we're shooting this spooky scene. I'm like, yeah, man, this is quite easy to get into.
Yeah.
And then we go on set the next day and we have the freaking time machine there. There's smoke going around. I'm like,
Huge
Yeah.
tall walls with all the
It's
glass and
like what sense memory? We're here. So yeah, thanks for that, Tom. That was amazing.
yeah, Tom, that was amazing.
The production value is off the charts. And again, it goes to show you Mr. Tom knows how to, place things and detailed and weighted. It was just smart.
Funny, right? So that's probably has everything to do with budget, because if we had $1 million, we probably just would have built a set inside some warehouse and had guys walking around in some design studio but because we don't have that kind of money, we're like the location scouting is very important. So I have to find these places that really fit what we need, and then I have to go in and schmooze them a little bit. And more so than not, you find people within the community or the people that manage these locations. They hear about that you're doing an independent film, and they're kind of interested in it. Luckily for us, the people running both locations are big supporters of independent arts. One being Bloomfield College, that has a big media arts department, and the other being Kipps Castle, which is run by Essex County, and the young lady there by the name of Lisa Payne. She works for a couple of local film festivals, Montclair and Newark.
Okay.
So she kind of understood the situation, although, like Anthony mentioned, there was a point when we kind of had our backs against the wall, and that was nerve-wracking, especially considering the fact that we were in the middle of shooting a difficult scene where we kind of had 3 angles to hit. That's where when you and Dennis were in the corridor, if you guys remember that.
Yeah, that was
that.
the thing you said.
Oh, yeah.
And Samantha, we hadn't even shot anything with you at that point.
No.
And then suddenly we were like, okay, are you guys done? Because, you got like a half an hour, and we said, what? So that was definitely a nerve-wracking moment. But the good news is we had assistance from Carlos Palmeras, who is supporter of the independent films from Bloomfield. He's an Essex County freeholder right now. He came by for the shoot. He helped negotiate our way through that. Michael Sewerman is with the Bloomfield Cruisers. He's also with the Bloomfield Recreation Department. He brought his, I think it was a '69 Chevy Nova.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, Dennis's character drives up
Wow.
in. So that also lends the period some authenticity. So that was very cool. We got lucky to get those locations. Well, not lucky, but we were fortunate to get those locations and the car and the assistance from the community. It's
Well, you
great.
definitely know how to make films on low budget and figure it out. It's a talent to do that. It's not easy. Like make it look like a film that's a lot more money, and then
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's always the goal. That's always the goal.
and that's
Well,
what
then
like.
hopefully someday someone with money goes, my God, if I just gave you a little bit more, what could you do?
Well, that's
So
what I always
that's-
like.
that's the
Whenever you go to
plan.
these film festivals and you're showing your film, and then you always get the question in the crowd. They're like, "How much was your budget?" And you
Yeah.
never tell people because
Yeah.
could be someone in that audience, and you say $1 million, and someone will pay $1 million for it. So
Yeah.
Sure.
that was the
sure.
one thing I learned a long time ago. Never ever say your budget. Never answer that question.
I love that. Yeah, you know, that's good to remember.
Yeah.
You know,
People do. They'll say their budget, and I go, no, don't. No, never say your budget. Guess. Say, what do you think? $1 million? Okay, I'll take it.
Turn the question around. I like that.
So you never. That's the one question you never answer ever, because you never know. There could be an investor out there and be like, I'll give you $1 million for it.
Well, you know what's interesting too, when we shot this, Lewis and the who was taking all the still shots again? What was his name?
Todd.
Yeah, and then you took
Todd
some.
Zurich, she's one of our producers.
Oh,
You know Todd.
Todd there taking fun. Yeah.
Mhm.
Then he took some screen grabs, and the angles, man, are just unbelievable. They're like from below, they're from above. There's one of me and Dennis where we're looking at the soothsayer, and the camera's peeking through the lights.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's in. I think that's even in the trailer. That shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the very beginning.
There's a shot of me and Sam when she's got the goggles on, and it looks like
At the
you know,
time machine.
I'm a Frankenstein. You know,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
pull the lever. That was great, man.
So I guess you got a lot of good behind the scenes footage. I know you like to put that in your DVD specials. So you got a lot of that for this film.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's so great. And I'm always so happy about that because I always like have this intention of taking pictures and taking promotional photos. Let's get everybody together. And by the time we get on set, we get everything prepped, we start shooting. And then by the end of the shoot, I'm just ready to go home. And I turn around, I'm like, did anyone take any pictures? Did anyone? And yeah, luckily we got a ton of guys taking pictures. And I mean, the cell phones these days, you get some good pictures. They have the filters on it. So everybody sent me black and white shots from the set. And so it was really cool. Yeah, we got a lot of great behind the scenes.
Yeah, because I noticed you do that with your other ones as well. And then, so when this is done, you're going to start submitting to film festivals shortly, or you're going to hold it off for just a feature, or you're going to sell it as a short first?
So I'm going to be honest. We're gonna go in another direction. We are gonna submit to a few film festivals, but we're going to be very selective about where we screen to because we're going to do local stuff. You know, Grove Street, Northeast, stuff like that. And we're going to do some Manhattan festivals that we like going to, some other Jersey festivals, Garden State, probably Golden Door, stuff like that. But what we're going to do is, because for the entire Return to the Theater of Terror anthology, we're going to be launching an Indiegogo campaign. And Indiegogos are great, but it's hard
to raise money, though.
It's really hard and it's really stressful, and especially after what everyone's gone through now.
Yeah.
I mean, this has really changed the entire anticipation. Before, I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to raise money, and now I'm really worried about people's financial situations and donating to the arts right now. I don't know where that's at. Yeah. But what I feel is going to really sell us the best and what we're trying to achieve is I'm going to probably hold some public screenings that are going to be free locally in New York, in Jersey, possibly some in PA, where we're going to invite audiences to come in for free. We're going to provide them with water and popcorn, and we're going to have a donation box at the exit door. And we're going to hope that people can kind of see what we're doing with an extremely low budget and take that opportunity to hopefully donate to us. We're going to do that as well as running the Indiegogo campaign, but I think that's where I'm going to focus more of the screenings, especially locally, are ones that we personally
Exactly.
organize.
A lot of movie theaters will be gunning for any kind of material to be showing. You might have hit a niche there.
Yeah, a lot of art houses might be
Yeah.
like, yeah, bring it on. We need something here.
With
So,
all the movies that got pushed back now, they're just hungry for new material. So,
and some of them might not even come in theaters anymore, apparently.
yeah, right.
Really?
Universal and
Oh, that, yeah.
yeah. So that's going to be a big mess when everything gets back to normal again. So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
see
so
how it goes.
that's the plan. That's the plan.
But I think, and I was telling other people right now, I think a lot of people are writing and being creative, and they're just getting ready for when we're able to get back to almost normal life and start shooting again. I think it's going to blow up again. Everyone's going to be making films. Festivals will start coming back and everything, and the business will be striving again. Hopefully, that's my belief. But it was starting out. 2020 would seem to be pretty good in the beginning, and then, it
was weird. Well, luckily for us, we just shot. Our second day of shooting was on the Sunday, the week before this really kind of blew up.
Like February-ish, March.
No, was it February? Or was it March?
No,
It was February.
Yeah,
It would be this. So it's like,
No, the Sunday I think we shot was March, guys. It was 2 weeks from the first date we shot. It was 2 weeks later. And
you're right.
Day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, by Friday after
it was March 8th.
Yeah.
Wow.
By Friday,
so right after. That was right after.
March 8th.
I mean, we were talking about it, but we didn't. I mean, we even have a kissing scene.
Right. There was no. We joked about it on set actually because there wasn't this whole thing where like, wow, maybe everyone should just stay home. Like they weren't really talking about that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It was just kind of like, oh yeah, and so we joked about it a little bit on set, and then suddenly it became the serious issue that it's become. Yeah. And I mean, I'm just so thankful that we got that in because I could not imagine what would be going through my mind thinking that we got that first day of shooting in.
Yeah, you got 1 day.
And I knew all the actors were going to be just like, it's a very stressful amount of time to wait for a project. So I'm so glad we got that in because then I just started editing. I mean, I've been editing this whole time that we've been in quarantine, and it has not affected the production of the anthology as of yet because I think we still wouldn't have started shooting the second film yet. The thing that's really killing me is that we would have already had a screening and I would have, or at least scheduled, so that I could show these guys the film because I've been dying to show them the film.
And we're itchy.
Yeah, and we considered doing like a Zoom or
we did a Zoom mirror of another film that I did, also black and white, funny enough, and it didn't go over well. The sound's all forcocked. You don't want to.
That's my
freezing
worry.
up. The voices were off. Things like that. The internet.
That's my worry. That's my worry.
It was really weird. The sound was not what it was because he sent me the link after, and it's a different sound. So it doesn't fly well this way. Sadly, unless it's a link.
A lot of film festivals are going online, and there's been issues with slowing down and things like that with their films. Some are all right, but I've been watching some online.
They did it this year, Chris. Were you in any of them this year?
I had student films at Garden State, so that was really cool. That every year we have about 3 or 4 student films in there. So
I had one that I did. I directed and acted in, and it went on, and it was fun to watch. I mean, there was no glitches, thankfully. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't Zoom. I think I don't know what they did to.
They had something good because it was for the most part it was running all right. But
pretty decent.
If everybody was on Wi-Fi, it started to freeze up and slow down. So
right.
If you had the Ethernet, it was better.
Yeah, but it was. I don't know if that's going to be the next wave of festivals. I don't know.
I don't really want it to. We canceled Hang On to Your Shorts until September.
Well, that's smart because.
It was we had 1 weekend. We can only get 1 weekend. And like, there's like 10 other festivals that weekend of September.
Yeah.
I got all pushed up because in Asbury, it's booked in September for weddings and parties. So it's like September 12th and 13th now. So,
the thing that we get from festivals, and I, Tom's been to several of these guys, you meet people. That's how I met Tom, and how I have met him otherwise.
Yeah.
So you need the human contact. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, South by Southwest, when that got canceled, I was kind of like, oh. For all the filmmakers, I was like, oh.
Well, that's the reason why we do the bright side, because it's in a bar and everyone's close and everyone seems to work with each other after a day or two in a bar.
That is the truth.
And everyone has fun. They talk. People are doing casting sessions in the bar outside.
Seriously?
It's nonstop. And we have so many movies, about 100 every time, and 2 days of it, and it's just fun. We just have a blast. And everyone, we always meet new people and bring people in, and a big film family, and we do.
Well, that's how you make the relationships. That's how you form those relationships. You start talking to someone.
Yeah.
There's actors that I worked with on the last anthology, and I shot with them in 2017, and I met them in 2012. And I said to them, "Man, I love you. We got to work together someday." But because I don't like to just cast someone just to cast them, I like to give them a meaty role that's going to be great for them and who they are. Yeah. It took me, Dan, 6 years or 7 years to find, but when we finally worked together, it was great, and they were great in it. So you form those ties and that networking. That's the networking is the piece.
Yeah, Anthony, we met at one of those screenings, I think. I saw your film, and I'm like, oh man, you were great. And then I came up to you, and I'm like, I need to talk to this guy. He's awesome.
No, I remember grabbing Dennis. I was like, "Oh, here, where you going? Don't leave." For me, just over the last 3 years, I've been to a lot of different festivals, and I learned a lot. What I find, if you're a good talent, no matter if you're directing, acting, writing, whatever, people don't see you until they see your work. Then all of a sudden, there's a dialogue because there's a mutual admiration or respect. I personally hate when I have to kind of get somebody to like me. I'm not that guy. I'm just going to chill. Yep. But when you know my work, and if you have a dialogue because you've seen it and I've seen yours, then there's an immediate connection. There's an immediate connection because of the work.
Yeah, I hosted. I was, sometimes we have other people host, but I hosted the one down in Asbury one year. And I was just on fire one night. I was just going crazy. And somebody came up to me. He's like, I got a part for you. I want you to be in my movie. And that was Death and Disco Fries. And I starred in that, and I won an acting award, and it blew up all over the place. So
there you go.
Just because of that.
Amazing.
Huh?
That's so amazing.
Yeah. So it was funny. You got to play a funny part now. And I showed it to my students, and they love that film. And they always like, can we see Death and Disco Fries again? I'm like,
Chris, what year was that?
I don't even remember.
Was it like in the last 5 years? Or?
Yeah. It was a couple, maybe 2 years ago.
I think I saw.
You might have saw it. It played locally. It played around here in New Jersey, New York. That's funny. I was that happens a lot because there was other people I knew, and I just ran into some guy, and he looked at me. He's like, I've seen you before. He's like, I saw your movie, Death and Disco Fries. I'm like, where did you see that? He's like, in Rhode Island. I was like, what? And now we're good friends, and I'm actually interviewing him on Monday. And he had a great film called Quantum, and it's an excellent short film, and he's an amazing filmmaker. So, small world.
Small world.
You never know. But does anyone, we got a little bit of time left, but does anyone want to go around and promote anything that you have out, any films or short films or any websites and things like that? If you want to go around the horn and promote, and then we got Ming on the side here. I'll put them up here on the screen. And promote.
Anthony, you start.
I have a couple of projects coming up. I'm directing one called Crumb Cake. My wife wrote it. And it's based off a play that I directed that she was in, and she also wrote. It's a little different, so the film's going to be different, but it's derived from that play.
Oh.
That was going to shoot actually 2 weeks ago, and because of COVID, we moved it to September.
Okay.
And then I'm cast in another film with Clyde Baldo directing, and I play an acting teacher. Go figure. So
Stretch.
yeah, so the role was kind of inspired through one of my students, and he put me in it, which is a nice part actually. It's really cool. Right now, it's a working title of "Time to Be Alive," but it's going to change, I think, to Aaron with 2 A's. And then I'm doing another film with another colleague, Amanda Brooke Lerner, and Robin Parrish, who wrote it, and it's called "If I Were You," and it's about these 2 friends over years that kind of interchange their lives. It's very interesting. It's a comedy, and I played one of the husbands.
So you're gonna have a busy September.
Yeah, so it's pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna have those going on, and then funny enough, I just got an email from a guy from a festival, believe it or not. And speaking of festival connections, he wants me possibly as a lead in a feature in another sci-fi. So Tom, I don't know what you started, but in another sci-fi. So I think I'm putting it out in the universe, and it's a big film. So we'll see. I don't want to jinx it, but it's kind of right now we're negotiating and we're talking, and he sent me the script. It's good. So we'll see. And that's what's going on right now.
Great. What about you, Samantha?
So I have an immersive web experience that is probably going to be starting probably at the end of this month. That's with Poseidon Theater Company. It's in the very early stages. We just had our first read through yesterday, but I'm excited to see where that's going to go. It's very different. Definitely not for anything I've done before, but I'm excited. And but feel free to check out my website at SamanthaLaceyJohnson.com. Same Instagram handle as well. And Chris and Ming, thank you so much for having me on here.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Dennis?
Yeah, I'm going to be on. I'm going to be on an episode of Blind Spot later this year. I think the first episode is going to be next week. Not mine. I think I'm on episode 9 or something. So
It's starting up again now.
Yeah, it's the final season.
Final season,
So
yeah.
it's that's exciting. What a great cast.
When you booked that was awesome.
Yeah, everybody was so lovely. What a lovely, lovely crew. That was amazing. Otherwise, I'm just staying busy. My girlfriend and I are just shooting stuff on Instagram. It started out more as like a blog, and now it's kind of like a slice of life web series. That's a slight exaggeration. It's a lot of fun because I get to do the editing and like, okay, what kind of a transition could we do? What kind of music do we do? So yeah, follow me on Instagram at Dennis Uwe. Yeah.
All right. But
I love Dennis and his girlfriend stuff. Is that your wife or is that your girlfriend?
Girlfriend.
It's your girlfriend. Yeah, I love
the wife.
I'm watching.
and Tom, I know you got a bunch you could promote and get out there.
Yeah, I just want to ask everyone to just please check out theaterofterror.net. Theater is spelled Theatre. Please check us out. Look for our Indiegogo campaign when it launches. Look for the local soothsayer screening when it happen. Check us out. You can find me at info@theaterofterror.net if you want to email us. But yeah, just keep up with it and look out for Soothsayer. I have to say that as the opening film in this new anthology, I am extremely, extremely pleased with the way this turned out. I'm so happy. These guys were fantastic. If you're watching and you're a casting director, you're a filmmaker, you're a producer, look for Dennis Wee, Samantha Lacey Johnson, and look for Anthony Robert Grasso. These guys were excellent to work with. 2 days, under a lot of pressure. You guys, I can't wait to show you this film because you guys knocked it out of the park. I'm the only one that's seen it so far, so it's real. And Louis Libetz has seen it, but
he's on right now. He said hello. He's on there, and so was Todd.
So proud of this team, everything everybody's done. It's been great. It's been great. So check us out.
That's so nice.
Can I just add one thing?
Yeah, we got time. Yeah, keep going.
My website is anthonyrobertgrasso.com. It's being launched. I have a new site coming. I'm very excited. It should be live hopefully by tonight or tomorrow.
Is that where like people take classes from that now? Or is that how they get
it's
to
my actor, director, teaching, and headshot photography. I also shoot headshots.
So if someone out there right now wants to take acting classes online, they could go there and sign up.
They could go there. They could sign up. They can't really sign up because there is a little bit of a wait list, but they could at least apply for to see what's happening. And some people are going to be leaving, so there's always room. I have Yeah. So there's a free audit that I'm currently going to put out there. Yeah. So I didn't want to publish, but I'm excited because it's a really good website designed by this guy named Yaron. It's called yummyzest.com. And I got to tell you, man, if you want a powerhouse website, you wait till you see this. I'm so jazzed because I have like 4 different things that I need to put out there, and he did it in such a way, and I'm very, very proud of it.
So that's coming soon. It's not quite ready yet, or
it'll be either out tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, that quick.
Yeah. I mean, we've been working on it for the last several weeks, so that's been like what I've been doing in this whole quarantine, other than putting my classes online. I haven't shot any pictures because you can't get in front of people right now, but yeah. But that's, taking me to another level of what I want to do with my teaching and directing. I got a lot of directing in the last few weeks. I mean, the last few years, and being around Tom, I learned, and other directors. You always learn from watching from other directors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm an actor and director more than a hands-on filmmaker. So I really rely on great DPs. I've worked with one DP about 11 times now. He's a Japanese cinematographer named Teru Nikishibo, and he's a brilliant. I think you've seen a lot of his work.
Did he ever come to any of the festivals? I don't know.
He's never been to The Bright Side, but Kill Al has been there. He shot that. He shot Swipe Right. He shot. I don't know if you saw my film that I don't think it's there yet. The Long Commute. He shot that one, but you got Fresh Air, which another guy actually shot that. But yeah, you got to surround yourself with talent. So Tom is a stone away from me. I can throw a rock and hit his lawn. So I'd be calling on him if I ever need some, work in there.
What about the next short? You said you were ready to film it. It's written already. You're ready to go with it?
Yeah. I mean, actually, funny enough, Tom was saying how you get this extra time, because of what's happened. So my wife is going back, and we're going to fine tune some stuff. So it actually gave us more time. Mm-hmm. I said, let's add more of what we had in the play here, and then she'll come back and she'll tweak. But yeah, everything's lined up. We have the whole crew lined up, and the budget. It's going to be shot in Cape May, so we're kind of excited about it.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I
don't know if anyone watches The Sinner, but you can catch me on there this season. It's streaming live right now.
Is it season 3?
Season 3, yeah, with Matt Boomer and Chris Messina.
Where can you see that now? Is it still in the same station, or?
Yeah. I think it's USA. Yeah,
USA.
Yeah. So that's a good one, and. Yeah, because I love these streaming channels because you can binge on them,
Yeah, I just watched Ozark. I just binge watched Ozark, and I loved it so much. 3 seasons like that.
It's awesome.
Crazy. Yeah. So good. So well done.
So good.
It makes me jealous. I'm like, I want to make something like that right now.
Yeah. What's really good? It's not quite as dark as Ozark, but it's called Mother, Father, Son. It's with Richard Gere, and it takes place in Great Britain, and the whole cast is British.
Oh.
And you want to talk about fucking great actors, man. Killer actors. I mean, I love Richard Gere and all, but when he's around these other iconic, Brits, I'm sorry, it's amazing. And this young guy who plays his son, I think he's going to be a big star.
Is that where when you watch that on Netflix?
That's on Stars, and it's 8 episodes. And
Is that your time machine working, Tom?
Oh,
You hear the noise?
Yeah.
Time
Is
machine's
that
going.
Is that your thing?
No, it was just some noise, some background noise.
That's crazy.
But so Tom, what about your short? You said you were ready to go on the next one.
The next short that we're working on is it's called Splinter, and we're gonna have 2 actors in that film that I think you're familiar with. I think you know Jim Thalman, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Jim's our lead in that, and young lady that was just in a film by Tom Brad with Alex, Andrea, and
Crazy for the Blonde.
Crazy for the Blonde. Yeah, Chris Samiri.
Yeah.
She's going to be joining us for that one too. It's called Splinter. The story was conceived of by and I co-wrote a screenplay with him for it. We're really excited about it. The story revolves around an ancient shaman curse, Native American story. That
Yes.
yeah, so it's gonna be it's okay. You're in. No. Yeah, so it's going to be a really cool story. It's very creep show esque, and I'm looking forward to shooting that. Hopefully, everything goes according to plan. I'm just fingers crossed, right, that we could get access to our locations and all. This one's going to be a little bit easier location wise because we're not shooting in a castle, so it's we don't need a castle for this one. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit easier to get locations for. But I really look forward to getting that going. But even before that, I want to show these guys Soothsayer. I'm dying to show it to them. So that's what we're waiting on.
So
from Murphy.
Right before we go, since I do show this to my students after I cut out some stuff, I will show that to them because it's an arts academy that we have. And like there's dancers and singers and theater people and filmmakers and artists. And so it's programs in its second year. We have freshmen and sophomore in it. It's about 70 kids and it's going to grow the next year to next year. So would you have any advice for someone going into your field that is studying in high school right now, that may be going off to college or going right out of high school and doing something, either acting or directing or writing? You want to start with you, Tom, and go around and just some quick advice for like a young person in the field?
I mean, so I'll just give some advice is if this is your dream and it's your passion, continue to pursue it. I've always wanted to be a director since I was a kid. I lost my hunger for that as I started just kind of going into the workforce and doing other things to make a living. I rediscovered that passion again. I did go to film school for 2 years. I had to drop out and start working in the workforce. Everything I learned in film school now is obsolete because it was cutting tape and a lot of stuff that's
grease
not done anymore. Yeah, it's a lot of
grease
stuff
tape the film together.
But it has always been my passion, and I found my way back to it, and I'm enjoying it on levels now that I never knew I could. So if it's something that you love and you're passionate about, not something that you're doing for money or fame, but more something that you're doing for love and fulfillment, then absolutely pursue it. Don't stop. Do everything you can to keep doing it and get as much practice and learn as much as you can.
Awesome. What about you, Dennis?
Yeah, set goals. Be honest about your weaknesses. Try to always improve. Keep taking classes. Just because you're not working as an actor at that moment doesn't mean you don't have to act. There's always time to take classes, to work on monologues, work on speech, breathing, etc., etc. That's how you stay fresh. And just keep that focus and keep that grind.
What about you, Samantha?
I guess to compound on that, watch old movies. The reason I wanted to become an actor, and I have all my life, was because I grew up watching black and white movie musicals and noir films and all kinds of stuff. And those actors back then, I feel like, are some of the greatest actors we'll ever have, to be honest. Like, who can stand up to Judy Garland? Like, no one. So definitely watch old films and get to know them and find a movie star that you love, and that can help you as well. So, yeah.
Great. And Anthony?
Yeah, I love that, Sam. Thanks for sharing that. Because films definitely was one of the reasons why I became an actor. Mm-hmm. I saw Al Pacino at, I don't know, I was 10 years old in The Godfather. And I remember being, oh my God, that guy kind of looks so similar to me. He's kind of short. He's Italian. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm not really short, but, I'm not tall. But anyway, what I would say and I do say to my students, is definitely, like Dennis said, don't wait to act. If somebody gives you the opportunity, you can always find a way. You can create your own thing. You could take classes, as he said, and really work on your instrument. It takes a talent for your talent, is what my teacher, Larry Moss, would always say to us. You have to have a talent for your talent. And if you don't nurture it, it'll just get idle. When I studied at the actor studio, Ellen Burstyn would always say that if you don't start the car, it becomes idle. So you got to really work on that. And the other thing is, I've been doing this over 30 years, and and some days I scratch my head and I go, how did that happen? And I think a lot of it is because I had a parallel career that I love doing. And you have to find something that you could parallel your life with that aligns you with possibilities and work. If you hate the job you're going to, that's not going to work for you. I mean, I've done everything from painting apartments to working in department stores to selling, food to walking around with pamphlets. I mean, shit I had to do just to make a living.
Yeah.
Bartending, waitering. And then when I found teaching, that really made sense because I love people. I love the craft. And I think you got to fall in love with the craft. When people tell me, hey, I want to be an actor, what do? I go, get some fucking training. Okay? Get some training. Because it's not something that you should just walk into, A plumber, I can never do my own plumbing. I would have to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't imagine somebody thinking they can do that. So it's the same thing. Or a doctor, I tell them, it's a trade, man. You got to put the time in. So, yeah, I would say get your training. Don't surround yourself with people who are bitching. Hang around people who are doing. And make sure that you be inspired. You continuously stay inspired. When I met Tom, and I'm not just saying that, Tom, because you're sitting with us, you inspire me, man. You inspire me. You have tenacity and drive, and to me, I respond to that. So, and the same with Dennis. Dennis was one of my key students for over a year, and he was always prepared, always on it. Like, boom, no bullshit. Just let's get it done. And Sam, I adored working with you. You were like right on point, man.
Thank you.
Really,
Very nice.
and beautiful.
And thanks to the preparedness of these three, the shoot actually went a lot smoother than it could have otherwise. So thanks to these guys for all being.
Great.
It was a great experience.
Thanks for everybody to come on here tonight. It was a great time, and it goes by so fast. An hour goes like that. It's crazy, right? So,
Cool. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. And, I'm going to be on Monday, I guess, again, or actually tomorrow. We are raising money for the Saint. It's at Asbury Park, where people are comedians and bands play for many, many years, and they need some money right now. So we're going to be on all night raising money for the Saint.
Good luck.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
Yeah, good
Thanks
luck,
Bye, guys.
down the pipe.
So good to see you guys.
Yeah, I miss you.
Nice to see you guys. Great work, man.